LCSC, students of medieval history. Welcome to week 2. So, I hope you guys have been getting into the swing of things, and hope you have contacted me if you've got any questions about sort of what we're doing and how to do it so far. Week 2 is fairly simple. It's all discussion boards. Excuse me. And it's going to come in 3 parts. Part 1 is based on the life of the medieval peasant. And so I've got 2 videos here. One of them by Eleanor Yaniga, and she is also the author of one of the books you've got for this class. And the second one is by Terry Jones of Monty Python fame, who also has a bit of a history background, interesting enough. So they've got these 2 videos, right? I want you to watch each of the videos, take notes, and be ready to engage in the following discussion. And I'm going to walk you guys through it. I'm not always going to do it, but I'm going to do it today. Take a set of notes that's going to allow you to have a discussion about the main points of medieval peasant life in the videos. What's the thesis? What's the main point? What kind of sources do they use? And then I want you to compare the videos. In what way do the presentations overlap? In what way do their presentations of history different? What'd you learn? What would you like to learn more about? And again, you've got a formal essay that's going to involve all of our materials, so take good notes. And you've got your own sort of research element you're going to do to the formal essay. So maybe you want to think about peasants. In this particular case, the focus is on Europe. There's peasants all over the world. Okay, again, in the future, I'll appoint discussion leaders, but for this week, it's everyone. Okay, everyone. So I want this conversation kicked off by the end of the day on January 21st. It'll go on for a day, 2 days, I guess. Talk about the videos. All right? Talk about history. That's what I want. Talk about history. That's thing number 1. Thing 2 and 3 are completely related, but I thought it was easier to separate them, okay? Because thing 2 and 3, we're getting into our main book for the semester, this year 1000. And so I separated the discussion on the prologue and the discussion on the introduction. I want everybody to participate in these. You can tone down how much you do. So I'll show you what I mean in a second here. I have provided PDFs of the prologue and of chapter 1. I'm not providing them beyond that, so you gotta get the book. It's not expensive, but if you haven't got it yet, at least you'll have this to get going with the first week. But you got to get your book. All right, that's part of the deal. So let's go to these discussions in the prologue. Excuse me. Again, just take notes. Outline the chapters. You guys are supposed to be, doing that kind of stuff and talk about them. Use the learning through discussion outline guidelines if you want. I'm cool with that, right? All this stuff here is basically the same for every discussion, just kind of reminding you, right? Your year 1000 analysis is down here. You might as well be taking notes for that to get it ready for that. Your formal essays here. You might as well be taking notes to get ready for that. Okay? But in addition to all that, I'm trying to give you guys a little bit of a reading guide. Okay? So, hitting these questions up. Who is Valerie Hansen? What's her credentials? That's not in the book. All right, you're going to have to, use Professor Google to figure that out. But it's always important to find out who the authors are before you start believing whatever it is they wrote. So you guys figure that out. And then from the prologue, what are her goals for the book? Why focus on the year 1000? Why not the year 500? Why not the year 750? Why 1000? What do you think of her setup? She's going to be making a presentation of history from this point forward. The prologue sets it up. What do you think? What caught your interest in the section? Now, I reduced the number of words for each of these discussions just because you got to hit the introduction too. Again, the point is discuss history, make me a believer you read. Okay? Discuss history, make me a believer you read. Zero AI. No AI. All right? That's the prologue. The introduction. It looks longer than it is. For some reason, I couldn't get the entire chapter in one PDF. But same thing. Take your notes. And here is basically your reading guide. What allowed increased trade at the global level at the year 1000? What are some of the demographic trends? That's people, population. What are some of the political trends? What are some of the environmental trends? What parts of the world are not going to be discussed in the book? Why? What are some of the sources you would expect to see in the book? What are some of the myths concerning the period? What are some of the transportation trends? And why does she decide to start with the Vikings? Now look, I don't want 10 or 12 or however many people are in here postings addressing every single one of these things. I mean, that's going to be super boring for everyone. It's supposed to be a conversation like we were doing it in class. So you guys take turns talking about it. If somebody's already, talked about, demographic trends and they left something out, bring it up. If they covered it well, then talk about something else. We don't need to be repetitive. I'd like for us to have this as a conversation for one another. I will revisit that once I kind of see what our conversations look like, okay? Notes. Take good notes. Also, optional, 100% optional. This is a link to a Zoom lecture by the author of your book going over what she was trying to do with the year 1000. I think it's cool. I had it required as of about an hour ago. I switched it up just because I'm trying to tone things down just a little bit to keep our workloads manageable. Watch it or listen to it. She's got some cool maps in there too. Okay. Also, for this week, and you guys can't see all this, but I can. No. I mean, you're in the week 2, Jasper and Anthony, my seniors. You guys are publishing your notes this week. Okay? I talked a little bit about that in the class setup. Each week, 2 of us, and these are our 2 seniors to start with, are going to post our notes. So take good notes, post them. It is mostly a you did it or you didn't, you had notes or you didn't have notes kind of assignment. I want it to be a setup so that I can give you a little bit of feedback on your notes if I feel the need to, but also so that we develop a class set of notes that we can all kind of go to and check out and double check things. But the reason I wanted to bring it up here is I wanted to show you how to do it if you need to. Okay? Students can change the notes by peers. You guys just pop up in here to edit. And then if you've got your notes as a image, just click on that thing, upload image. If it is a document, upload document. Go down here, put it down here. Be cool if you put your name before you did your post, but there's a thing that keeps the track of the history for it so that we know who did it, so that's not the end of the world. Okay? So, Jasper and Anthony, you're our folks for the Notes by Peers, and the discussion is happening for everyone. Let me just go back to week 2. Yeah, that looks about right. So, enjoy your historical studies. Let me know if you got any questions.